sitting here staring at the wall. TV cap telling me to carry on. Cause you win some, you lose some, but you live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ms.Dria Show, where I'm your host, Ms.Dria, and here I have with me radio personality for WMBM and two-time Stellar Award nominee, Mr. M.J. Smith. How are you?
I'm good, Dria. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Great. Nice to meet you,
Good,
too.
good.
Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Anytime. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm born and raised right here in Miami.
Oh, wow. That's excellent. So he's homegrown.
That's right.
Now, you've been a radio personality for 8 years now.
Yes.
What was it that inspired you to pursue a career in radio?
Well, early on, I was a mobile DJ, inspired by my brother-in-law. And one day I actually played hooky from school, called the radio station to request a song. And the DJ that was on the air was like, I like your voice. Let me record you. And I'm like, well, okay. And after she recorded me, she said, I'm going to play it for my boss and call me tomorrow. And I got some things on my mind. So I called her back the next day and she said, my boss liked your voice and we want you to come down. Okay, I'm thinking we about to get paid. And I went down and we kind of did like a semi-interview. And at the time in radio, you needed a radio license. Okay. So she instructed me on how to go about it. I went, did everything that needed to be done, went back, showed her the license. Ooh, it's done, ready to get hired. And the day before I was supposed to start working, she got fired. Program director got fired. I had no job.
Wow. So let me rewind a little bit.
Yeah.
You skipped school.
One day, yeah.
To request a song on the radio.
Well, it didn't happen like that per se. I just skipped school. I was at home listening to the radio. All of a sudden, it's like, I want to hear a song. So I called up, and that's how it happened.
Okay. So you got this opportunity.
Yes.
And out of nowhere, the lady gets fired.
Yeah.
That's horrible. But she did instruct you on what it was that you needed to do in order to obtain the license. So did you have to go to school? Because you were 18 at the time. You were still in high school.
Right, still in school.
Okay.
But at the time, it was a technical school that offered training for radio broadcasting. Okay. So that's how that happened.
Okay, wow. And then what was it like when you got your first radio personality gig?
The first radio personality gig was at a country station.
Oh, wow.
And the equipment was new, but there was a button that you can actually turn the speakers down in the studio. Uh-huh. People kept requesting this one song over and over again. And so I was like, if I have to hear this song again, I'm going to quit. And actually, I did. They requested the song, and I called the program director, and I said, you need to send somebody down here. He's like, what's wrong? I can't take this no more. And I actually walked out, and that was the end of that job. It was a country radio station. You ever seen the episode of Martin? Uh-huh. I thought I was going to go in like that, and that's kind of how that went down.
Okay. But now WMBM is a gospel radio station, for those of you who do not know. And what was it like? How did you get that job?
Wow. I am actually sent in a demo tape to WMBM, and at the time, I just wanted to work. I had just actually got fired from a talk radio station. Okay. And my demo had Michael Jackson, Jay-Z, Britney Spears, and Maxwell on it. So I sent it into the station.
Gospel?
Yeah, it was a gospel station.
Okay.
But you had to realize now, I just wanted a job. I submitted the demo tape, and the program director called back, and he said, sir, do you realize that you sent a pop demo to a gospel station? I said, sir, right now, all I want to do is work. He said, okay. And I went down, we interviewed, and immediately after that interview, he gave me a commercial. He said, I want you to record this. Went in, recorded the commercial. It was around November. It was in November. It was right before Thanksgiving. And the commercial was for a supermarket who was selling food. So the commercial had collard greens in it. So I did my thing, and he played the commercial for people in the office, and they were like, who is that Caucasian brother? Like, no, that's him. Because we don't say collard greens. We say collard greens. And And that was the beginning of the career in gospel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's excellent. Now you've been with the same radio station for 8 years, which is
Right.
excellent. And you've also, not only are you into radio, but you do voiceovers and, announcing, which is still in the same field. You have been a 2-time Stellar Award nominee.
Yes.
What was the experience like when you got your first nomination?
Well, the first Stellar nomination was kind of mind-blowing because a lot of times when you go to work, you go and you just do what it is that you have to do. And sometimes you don't realize that you actually affect people or people are actually paying attention. So with that happening, the nomination came into the station and they were like, "You're nominated for a Stellar." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." But then on the inside, I'm like, "Yes!" So that was pretty exciting. And I made it to the final ballot, and somebody else won, and I wanted to do a Kanye, but.
No, that's never good. That's never good.
But if it was going to feel good, I was going to take somebody's truth.
Oh my goodness, no, that's horrible. So that is excellent. Now you've worked and announced for some of the big names in the industry, such as Destiny's Child, Yolanda Adams, Kirk Franklin. The list goes on. Trust me. What was it like? What were those experiences like? Being able to announce for these people who have such an impact on other individuals.
For me, it's always a humbling experience when you get the opportunity because, at one point when you're growing up or when you're looking at TV, idolizing these people, at one point you're thinking, "Oh my God, they're on TV," and you never think that you'll actually be able to be in the same room with some of these people and actually hold conversations. And it was really a humbling experience. Yeah.
That is excellent. That's excellent. So are you working on anything new? Do you have anything coming up?
Well, I'm always doing commercials. But coming up, Kirk Franklin will be in town on next week, and we are in the process of talking about me emceeing for that program. And on April the 10th, Tasha Cobbs will be in town, and that's already been signed and sealed.
Okay, so congratulations
on
those. Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Being that you are in radio, when you first started and, the people, they told you, "Hey, I like your voice," and, you're just like, "I'm just talking," how did you feel listening back to your voice?
The very first time I heard my voice, I hated it. It's like, "Oh my God, I sound like that," and it takes a lot of getting used to, a lot of listening to yourself before you're actually comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And after that, the personality part, it's all about just doing you or being you.
Okay, perfect. So if there's one thing that you would tell someone who wants to follow your footsteps and say, "Hey, I want to be a radio personality," or "I want to be an announcer," what would you tell that individual?
I would tell them a couple of things. The first thing that I would say is definitely go to school, and you have to learn your craft. And then the second thing is something that my mentor taught me. You have to be nice to people because you will meet those same people on your way up if you should happen to fall down, and pass it on. Definitely pass it on.
That was some excellent advice. So, do you have any social media that you would like to tell the people?
Of course, you can always follow me on Instagram at MJ Party. It's MJ Smith on Facebook. And that's it.
Perfect. So I just want to thank you for taking the time out to come to the Ms.Dria show. And I want to thank you for taking the time out to interview with me.
Absolutely.
I welcome you back anytime. Anytime you have something going on, anytime you want to announce something, you're welcome here.
All right. Well, I'm always a phone call away.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.